Good afternoon. I'm Ray Collins. Scott is off this week. Topping our news at noon, the president's tweet about transgenders in the military. President Trump announced he's banning all transgenders from serving in any capacity in the armed forces. The president made his announcement on Twitter this morning. He says this decision comes after consulting generals and military experts. He also tweets that the military cannot be burdened with the medical costs and disruption that transgenders in the military would entail. Senators are already reacting to the president's announcement.
Well, I think you ought to treat everybody fairly and you ought to give everybody a chance to serve.
The president's decision reverses a policy initially approved by former President Obama. Military chiefs recently announced a delay on allowing transgenders from enlisting, but transgender troops are already serving in the military. We'll have more on the story today at 5. Here at home, a Manatee County aquatic facility is taking steps to immortalize the world's oldest manatee. The facility at the Lincoln Park wants to build a pool and dedicate it to Snooty the manatee. According to the Bradenton Herald, Palmetto commissioners have given its staff the green light to draft plans for the pool's designs. It'll reportedly include 2 pools, one for competition, the other for swimming lessons, drowning prevention, and exercise therapy programs. The project would cost about $3 million. The 69-year-old manatee passed away this past Sunday from a drowning just one day after his birthday. 9/11 tapes have also been released from the day Snooty passed. South Florida Museum called dispatchers about what they called a situation in their tank. Listen.
We have a tank issue with our tank.
Oh, okay.
Where we maintain manatees, and I'm going to need some help. We have an issue in our tank with Snooty the manatees. We're draining our tank right now. I want a fire engine to show up.
The calls were released this morning by the Bradenton Police Department. You can listen to them in full on our Facebook page. The investigation continues today into a disturbing video that shows a speeding boat dragging a live shark behind it. This video reportedly has ties to the Suncoast. The men can be seen laughing as they were pulling the shark, with one of them even saying, quote, "Look, it's already almost dead." Florida Fish and Wildlife officials are trying to figure out who the men are and exactly where this took place on the Gulf.
It's like really disturbing. I don't know how anybody can find any pleasure in that.
When I see something like that, that's such cruelty.
I don't really have an explanation of why people think that's okay. I don't know what we do to educate people to change it, but it's very disturbing.
This video was posted on Facebook. FWC, there are more photos of the men possibly abusing other animals as well. They're asking anyone who identified these men to call investigators. We'll have more on this story today at 5 o'clock. Plans for a tax increase for the Manatee County schools have been shot down. A spokesman for the district says the board discussed a possible referendum to raise the millage rate, but decided that will not be the best move at this time and will not be placed on the ballot for a special election. The increase would have given the district $30 million in surplus, but it was shot down after the board argued they needed a special plan first for how the money would be used. Meantime, the school board is narrowing down their names for a new high school. Out of the 60 names submitted by the public, North River High is their top choice. Also, a version of Parish High School would be second preference. The new school would be built on the southeast corner of Erie Road and Martha Road near Parish. A final choice will be made at a board meeting next month. It'll be open by the fall of 2019. Happening today, one of the best high school football teams in the country is in the spotlight this afternoon. The IMG Academy Ascenders have their annual media day today. They're just coming off 2 back-to-back undefeated seasons, and the team is just a few years old. The first game is August 18th at 7 p.m. against Miami Carroll City at the Bradenton Academy, IMG Academy. Another day of hazy, hot, and humid weather, John Scalzi.
Yeah, I think we're going to be hotter today than we were yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, we're already at 92 degrees, so we are headed toward a very, very warm afternoon. Yesterday, in some inland areas, we saw some heat indexes above 105 degrees, and I think we could certainly easily see that today. The thing is, there won't be much in the way of any kind of rain showers to break the heat today. We have some dry air aloft and a big ridge of high pressure sitting over the state of Florida. The combination of those two factors really kind of putting our rainfall chance at pretty low, 10% or less. Satellite view shows just not a lot of action going around. Titan radar clear as a bell. That will be the case throughout the remainder of the afternoon. Complete forecast details coming up in just a few.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. In Washington this afternoon, a follow-up now on yesterday's 51-50 vote in favor of health care reform. Senate Republicans were under pressure to repeal and replace Obamacare after promising to do so for the past 7 years. The latest now from ABC's Janae Norman.
President Trump urging Republicans to keep their promise to repeal and replace Obamacare.
Any senator who votes against repeal and replace is telling America that they are fine with the Obamacare nightmare.
But Republicans remain without a clear path forward. At this point, still without a health care bill that can get enough support to pass after the latest plan to repeal and replace died just hours into debate.
Ultimately, we want to get legislation to finally end the failed Obamacare status quo through Congress and to the president's desk for his signature. This certainly won't be easy.
And as Capitol Hill tries to overhaul health care, the president's Twitter feed may be overshadowing the process, announcing a major change to military policy through tweets that transgender individuals will no longer be allowed to serve in any capacity, even though thousands are reportedly already serving in the armed forces. The president also again taking aim at his own attorney general.
President Trump continues to find new ways to humiliate his own Attorney General, Jeff Sessions. Every American should be troubled by the character of his person who humiliates and turns his back on a close friend after only 6 months.
Today, senators will vote on a series of bills and amendments in hopes of making headway on their quest to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
An update now on two popular events in our area. Charlotte County is giving the Englewood Beach Waterfest $50,000 worth of in-kind services. Also, $30,000 will go toward the Florida International Air Show at the Punta Gorda Airport. Commissioners say both events prove themselves to be a positive generator for the area. The air show takes place October 13 to 15, and the Waterfest happens November 17th to the 19th. Happening tonight, a popular networking event in Sarasota is allowing local entrepreneurs to showcase their businesses. Marketing on Main tonight in downtown Sarasota. It takes place the last Wednesday of each month. It was created to give business owners a chance to attract new customers and promote their products. It also gives those who attend a chance to scope out local job opportunities. There's also live entertainment. It starts tonight at 5:30 p.m. at the Hyatt Regency in Sarasota. Time now to head to the kitchen and check in with Chef Judy.
You know, stuffed peppers is this wonderful dish that we've had in our family for years and years and years. I prefer not to use the green peppers. They're a little too acidic for me. But bright red and yellow and orange peppers are perfect. Great vitamins in them. So I took a trip over to Yoder's Produce Market and picked up some sweet Florida onions that are definitely in season and the bright, beautiful peppers. Now what we're going to do is we're going to cook up one hot Italian sausage and one sweet Italian sausage out of the casing. So we'll just give that a good mash it up. And we're going to use a pound of ground beef. Ground chuck is fine to use. In fact, it's always $2.99 a pound at the fresh market. So it's good to have in the mix with the sausage. And by all means, you can use ground chicken or turkey sausage as well. But we want to get that nice and brown first. Now, coming over, what I've done is to speed things up just a little bit. I'm going to take some oil and start to heat some more ingredients. And when I come back, you're going to enjoy quinoa stuffed peppers.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future. Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local boys and girls clubs. Great futures start here.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Get the hottest deals of the year during the summer clearance event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Pack the family up in style in the all-new Chrysler Pacifica. With over 100 standard and available safety features, it's the ultimate family vehicle. Get yours today for just $24,999 or get America's best value. A new Dodge Journey for as little as $15,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota today.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-685-6422, 800-685-6422.
ABC 7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC 7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Current conditions outside already pretty steamy, 92 degrees above where it was yesterday with a dew point value of 73. It just really feels oppressive, and we still have a ways to go this afternoon. Plenty of sunshine out there, calm winds currently. We'll watch the wind shift a little bit more onshore with time. We've hit 90 in Arcadia, Wauchula, it's 89, 89 in Mayaca, 90 in Parrish, Bradenton, Lakewood Ranch, Northport, Punta Gorda, 91 in Venice, 92 in Sarasota. A little bit cooler along the beaches with 88 Longboat Key and 89 degrees in Inglewood. Yeah, it's going to be warm today, no doubt about it. Titan radar not picking up any rainfall across our region currently. We've got a few light showers out here in the Gulf waters south of Fort Myers off the coast of Naples, but that's really about it as far as anything even close to us. So don't expect to see Monday showers popping up today. If we see anything at all, it'll likely be in inland locations later in the afternoon. You know, it's just nothing to break the heat. So consequently, with that dry air aloft, with that big ridge of high pressure sitting out in the Atlantic, we are left with a radar that's going to look very similar to this a little bit later on in the afternoon. At the surface, we still have pretty high humidity, as you just saw. Our dew point value is coming in at 74. So if you factor that in, it just gives you a feels-like temperature today of at least 100, probably for many locations up around 105. The hot spot today for severe thunderstorms, and there is a slight risk of that today in areas of the heartland in the Midwest. Chicago down through Kansas City will be the most likely location for stronger storms that could interfere with air traffic. So if you're traveling to the Chicago airport today, could be backups because of that. Otherwise, standard chances of just thunderstorm activity without the threat of severe weather today, and the chance of even a thunderstorm is very, very limited. Maybe down on the southern tip of the state where the moisture is a little thicker, you might catch a thunderstorm. We had one this morning. And then to the north also, up around Jacksonville, there may be some thunderstorms a little bit later on. But most of the state, I don't expect to see too much. High pressure, the dominant weather feature. Winds out of the northeast, light and variable today, becoming onshore with that sea breeze within the next hour or so. With that sea breeze formation, a few showers in the spine of the state are certainly possible, but those showers should push off to the other coast, leaving our area pretty quiet. 3 H's today: hazy, hot, and very humid. Small rain chances and high heat indexes because of that humidity and heat combining together. Also, UV indexes are going to be very high, up around a 12, which is about as high as it gets. Rainfall forecast shows the highest rain chances to be in inland areas away from our coastline, and that's the way it's going to be over the next several days. Dew point values warm throughout the state, meaning there's plenty of surface moisture. It's just the moisture aloft that is lacking, and consequently low chances for rainfall over the next several days. By next week, a frontal boundary and increasing moisture in the atmosphere will up our rain chances, and I think it could be kind of a rainy start to next work week. Back to you.
Talk to you soon, John. Thank you. On to Health News Now. New research shows a stronger link than ever between football head injuries and brain damage. ABC's Maggie Rulli explains.
111 NFL brains scanned, 110 with brain disease.
It's very, very disturbing.
Those results coming out of an unprecedented new study, ringing alarm bells for anyone who has ever played or has a child playing football.
My freshman year, I had 2 concussions.
The American Medical Association studied the brains of 202 deceased football players from all levels who had shown signs of CTE when they were alive. 87% had the disease. Among former NFL players, all but one had CTE.
This disease is more common than we anticipated. It's common.
The new research comes just 7 months after the NFL finalized a nearly $1 billion class action lawsuit by former players who claimed they suffered traumatic brain injuries during their career. The NFL says they've been taking steps to change football culture, teaching kids new tackling techniques and instating more than 40 rule changes to make the game safer.
We're over $100 million in research that is going not just to make football safer. This is going to make all sports safer.
Right now, CTE can only be diagnosed after death. Some former players question if they even want to know the extent of the damage.
If there was something that could show you if you had it while you were living, if there is a test that could do that, I don't know how many would actually take it. I wouldn't want to know.
The author of the study notes that the set of players tested is far from a random sample, since every brain was donated by someone who had already showed signs of CTE. But she says that the numbers are significant. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
Also in health news, men living in certain continents are running low on their sperm count. According to a new analysis, sperm counts of men in North America, Europe, Australia, and New Zealand are plunging. Between 1973 and 2011, the study found a 59% decline in total sperm count. There were no big drops for men in South America, Asia, or Africa. Experts believe exposure to certain chemicals could play a role. New at noon, a new partnership will hopefully bring more medical professionals to the Suncoast. The University of South Florida Sarasota Manatee is teaming up with Lake Erie College to offer qualified students degrees in dentistry or osteopathic medicine. Those accepted will get early admission into the college's osteopathic medicine program in Lakewood Ranch. The partnership comes after a recent report of the lack of medical professionals on the Suncoast. LECOM will admit up to 5 UFS students a year. A new app on the market aims to help you find a fitness buddy, and it began right here in Sarasota. Details from our Jacqueline Matter. Jacqueline?
Good afternoon, Ray. The app is only about 2 months old, and its purpose is to connect people who want to work out together. Whether it's holding someone accountable, if you're new to the area, or you're just looking for a new fitness friend, the Fit Grit app allows you to meet up with people in your area to exercise with, and using the app is fairly simple. First, you choose your fitness interests such as yoga, cycling, tennis, CrossFit, you name it. From there, you'll be able to see other people in your area with similar fitness interests, and then you have the option to exercise together. And it's not just millennials using the app. Scott Busey from Sarasota started the app and says they have about 1,000 downloads ranging from the young to the old.
The fitness industry is just like booming right now, and it really wanted to kind of tap into it at the right moment. And fitness is just such an awesome thing. I mean, people feel so good when they start working out and they start, losing weight or gaining muscle and stuff like that. And I really wanted to be able to make an impact.
Well, the app is free and available for both Apple and Android phones. Busey says while the app is still relatively new, he does hope it'll go national, if not global, in the near future. And a lot of people referring to it, Ray, as kind of like a Tinder or a Bumble, but for fitness fanatics. So it'll be interesting. I think it's a great idea if you're trying to get out and find a new fitness friend to work out with.
Meet somebody who wants to stay in shape.
Yeah, exactly.
2 for 2. All right, you gonna try it?
Well, I don't know about that. We'll see.
Thank you, Jacqueline. Well, the Rays are in action right now after a game last night in St. Pete. We'll have details. And also today, more bad luck for the former top player in the world. The latest sports news is next.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I'm creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
As a singer-songwriter, it's all about creating high-performance art that moves people. Same is true in making gorgeous cars. Fiat designs it. You're the artist.
Choose your palette just about any color combo inside out. No small wonder, state-of-the-art style Fiat.
Now this moves me. Oh, they're playing my song.
Let the art of Fiat move you at Fiat of Sarasota.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining. The official Suncoast Hurricane Guide from ABC7. Download yours today.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Closer to making Northport their spring training home. The city commissioner approved the West Villages interlocal agreement for the Braves Stadium. Commissioners will pay nearly $5 million for their portion of the deal. If all goes well, the team will start playing in Northport in less than 2 years. On the field last night, the Tampa Bay Rays managed to come back for a win against the Orioles. Jake Faria pitching in the 8th inning, giving up 3 runs and 7 hits while striking out 5 in 7 1/3 innings. Alex Colomb pitched the 9th for his 29th save after the Orioles got the potential tying run in scoring position in each of the last 2 innings. But it was Tim Beckham's 3-run homer that capped the big win last night. A great comeback. Final score, Rays 5, Orioles 4. The two teams are playing again right now. A matinee that began at 12:10 in St. Petersburg. We'll have highlights of that tonight at 11 o'clock. The former top tennis player in the world says he's done for the rest of the year. 2-time U.S. Open champion Novak Djokovic will sit out the final Grand Slam with an injured right elbow. By missing the U.S. Open, he'll end his streak of taking part in 51 consecutive Grand Slam tournaments. Until now, Djokovic has never missed a major tournament, but he says this is the decision that has to be made at this moment. On the basketball court, Steph Curry is staying with the Warriors. The 2-time MVP finalized his 5-year, $201 million deal. That's not the richest deal ever. James Harden topped it with a $228 million extension with the Houston Rockets. NBA Finals MVP Kevin Durant also signed his new deal worth about $53 million over the next 2 years. And meantime, NBA attendance is actually on the decline. Let's check back now with Chef Judy. She's cooking a pepper dish for our lunch today. Judy?
Welcome back. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to get the peppers ready, and it's really easy because you're basically just scooping out the seeds. We're going to save the tops because we want to definitely chop up these peppers. They're going to be a great addition, little crunch and flavor profile as we go along. So once those peppers are cut and you've cut the tops, and that's something you can do in the morning if you want, just to have life easier, cover it and put it in the refrigerator. Now over here with the ground beef and sausage, I have some already done. I'm going to add some chopped onion. I really, really recommend the onion in this dish because it just gives it that delicious flavor. Somewhere in between, like when you're making homemade spaghetti sauce and things like that. So good. Along with the onion, I added about 3 cloves of garlic. I'm a big garlic fan. You can use much less if you prefer, but I do like a batch of the garlic in there as well. Now, I have 2 ingredients. I always shop my produce drawer first because I think I spend more on produce than I even do on meats and fish and chicken because I love vegetables. We're going to add some chopped mushrooms because I had about 6 mushrooms in there. Now, if you want to omit the meat completely, mushrooms are a great texture as they start to cook down to use in place of meat, okay? It kind of tricks your mind just a little bit in there, and that's going to work really well. Now, in addition, I have eggplant. I had an eggplant left over, so after making an eggplant parm last week, I thought, why not? That's what stuffing peppers can be, stuffing it with whatever you want. Now I want to talk you through the quinoa. I'm using red quinoa. You rinse it very well. So soak it in cold water for about 10 minutes, put it in the colander, then rinse, 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 because you want to make sure you don't have any sand or grit in it. Quinoa is so much better to use as opposed to like a white rice. It's lower in carb. It is so healthy for you, and it's pretty versatile in the dish. So what we're going to do is keep sauteing, and if I need moisture, I'm just going to grab a little chicken stock right here, just a little bit, okay? And simmer that for a little bit more, and then we're going to cut up the rest of the peppers and get them ready, and we're going to stuff them in just a few minutes. I'll be back to tell you how.
Fresh out of the box, the Alfa Romeo won us over. We went in skeptical and left in awe of this gorgeous machine. Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline. If you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death, you must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
It does things that seem impossible, feeling like it could change direction while airborne. Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
A congressman who was critically wounded at a baseball field last month has been released now from the hospital. Congressman Steve Scalise will now begin intensive inpatient rehabilitation. Scalise and 4 others were injured last month when a man opened fire on a Republican baseball practice in nearby Alexandria, Virginia. The congressman was struck in the hip that day. The hospital now says he's in good spirits and looking forward to getting back to work. Here at home, police hope newly released surveillance video can help them catch a man that robbed a Bradenton Walgreens at gunpoint. Look at this video. It happened about 10 o'clock on Monday night at the store on Cortez Road. Police said the masked man walked in, pointed a gun at the clerk, and demanded money. The clerk gave the man the money, and he ran from the store. If you can help find this man, call Bradenton Police. New at noon in the Bay Area, police in Clearwater arrested a man after they say he broadcasted himself live on Facebook while speeding down a beach drinking from a whiskey bottle. The incident happened last week on Clearwater Beach in Pinellas County. Police say 27-year-old Ryan Stiles live streamed himself as he drove over chairs and umbrellas before surrendering at the water's edge. Luckily in all this, no one was injured. Stiles had reportedly told police that he intended to commit suicide. He had been scheduled to meet his public defender about a previous arrest for allegedly drunkenly assaulting a police officer at a motel, but says he snapped and instead set out for what he called one last good hurrah.
Before, we were extremely fortunate that we didn't lose any officers, nor did we lose any civilians, because as you can see, Clearwater Beach at any time can be very populated.
And the action didn't stop there. Look at this. Police say he shattered the glass of his holding cell with his belt when he was arrested. Police say they got several calls from people watching him on Facebook Live who described what they thought they were seeing. That allowed them to catch up with him quickly. Stiles is now facing many new charges, including DUI and reckless driving. Speaking of charges, overseas, the highest-ranking Vatican official ever charged in the Catholic Church sex abuse scandal made his first appearance in court this morning. Cardinal George Pell faced a judge in his home country of Australia. The 76-year-old is charged in a series of sexual offenses from years ago. He did not enter a plea on those charges. The hearing, as you see, caused a media circus this morning. Pell is Australia's highest-ranking Catholic and the number 3 person in the Vatican. His lawyer plans to fight the allegations that have threatened the Pope's image as a crusader against abusive clergy. A follow-up now on the heat wave in France. Some of the nation's famous vacation spots are suffering from drought-like conditions, which are causing wildfires. The flames have caused some 10,000 evacuations. About 600 firefighters are working to contain those flames. The heat is also being felt in Italy. In fact, Rome is facing a water crisis. The Vatican has turned off its fountains for the first time ever because of this drought. I'm actually going to Italy in about a month. Hope those fountains are back on by then.
I hope so. It's a beautiful sight, all those fountains going in Italy. But this is an inferno of unmatched magnitude. I mean, I guess there are some firefighters that have been injured as well. So yes, it's a terrible situation there. Call has gone out throughout Europe to help battle these fires. Wow. So it's bad. It's brought on, of course, by all of the heat that they have recently had. I mean, just amazing record-breaking numbers. We are seeing here locally some pretty warm conditions across our region as well. Casey Key webcam put into motion shows we started off the morning with a lot of sunshine around. Things haven't changed all that much. There's still plenty of sunshine and only a few fair weather clouds out there to block the sun from time to time. And it really isn't doing a very effective job of blocking the sun. There's just not enough cloud up there. So our temperatures continue to rise across the region. Now, there's just not much in the way of any kind of relief from the heat this afternoon, as we're not going to get enough moisture around to produce any kind of shower. So don't expect that. UV index is high, heat index is high. Take it easy out there. For better rain chances down the road, we'll talk about that coming up in a few. Right?
All right, John, talk to you soon. Thank you. An update this afternoon on Abby Lee Miller. She's the Dance Moms star who began her prison sentence. New video reveals the moment she turned herself in. It premiered last night on the Lifetime channel. ABC's Diane Macedo has the story.
These are the tense final moments before Dance Mom star Abby Lee Miller checks into prison. As her SUV pulls up to the gate, she's seen eating mac and cheese. Then the cameras are forced to turn off, but the audio keeps rolling.
We're turning Ms. Miller in.
Miss Miller?
Yes.
Just give me 1 second, please.
Can you tell me from where we get out of the car to where I could go to the ladies' room? Is it far?
They'll explain it to you right now, ma'am, okay?
It's a far cry from Miller's former life as a dance diva.
Too sloppy. Get up in the air on that!
She's serving a year and a day in prison after pleading guilty to bankruptcy fraud. Back in May, she told GMA how she planned to approach her incarceration.
I'm just going to pretend I'm shooting a movie, and we're on set, and I'm there for 10 months, and that's the way it's going to be.
How do you plan on spending your days?
Reading, and I want to learn to speak Spanish, and I'm already working on a new book.
But in Lifetime's new special, filmed in the week leading up to her imprisonment, the reality of the situation seemed to be weighing on her.
Are you afraid? And if
Absolutely.
so, what are you afraid of?
Absolutely.
What are you scared of?
You know, I've been told not to talk about it because once they know, when they see this and they know, that's what they'll go after. So I am, you know, petrified.
That was ABC's Diane Macedo. Back in May, Miller was sentenced to a 1.5 years in federal prison for bankruptcy fraud. However, a judge told her she could transition to a halfway house after serving 10 months of her sentence. On to consumer news now. Identity theft crimes are going down. According to the IRS, the number of victims was nearly cut in half last year when compared to the previous year. The numbers dropped from nearly 700,000 to about 377,000 people. Thieves use these stolen identities to file phony tax returns. Of course, the IRS issues $300 billion in tax refunds each year, making it a popular target for sophisticated thieves. But several years ago, the IRS began teaming up with major tax preparers to crack down on the problem. A national consumers group is calling for organic and natural food stores to dump Ben & Jerry's products unless the company goes organic. According to the Organic Consumers Association, 10 out of 11 samples of the ice cream had traces of glyphosate, a key ingredient in herbicide. Now, the ingredient was reportedly found in the flavors like Cherry Garcia, Half-Baked, and Peanut Butter Cookie. The World Health Organization's International Agency for Research on Cancer labeled glyphosate as a possible carcinogen, which can lead to cancer. Well, it's not the kind of worm you see every day. Engineers at Stanford University and the University of California have found a way to grow a worm 25,000 times its size. But it's not a real worm, don't worry. It's actually a robot. It's made of a tube of soft material that folds inside itself like an inside-out sock and grows when material inside the tube turns outward. Researchers hope to use it one day to help with search and rescue efforts and also medical devices as well. And on that note, let's go back to Chef Judy, who's cooking some stuffed peppers today. Judy?
Welcome back. So I have the ground chuck and hot and sweet sausage that I took out of the casing, all blended together. There are the pepper tops that I chopped up and some onion and garlic and mushrooms. This is really going to be good. I added a little chicken stock. I'm going to add a little more because as we add the quinoa, it's going to absorb some of that moisture as well. You don't want too much moisture, so work with it a little bit at a time, okay? So that's exactly what we're going to do. And I always make extra quinoa because I'm going to keep it for salads just to have as an extra source of nutrition. Sometimes I'll just eat the quinoa as it is with a little Greek yogurt on top, which is just yummy. Little salt and pepper. By all means, fennel seeds is a great addition to this as well. Now, once your peppers are completely prepped, let me turn this one off because that meat's all set, and you've added the quinoa, what you're going to do is you're going to line a casserole dish with just a little bit of a high-quality marinara sauce. There's two brands that I really love. There's either the Michael's of Brooklyn, which you've seen me use a lot. There's a new one that's called Organico Bello, and I picked it up at the Fresh Market, and they have one that's made with kale that is so good. So a nice organic sauce, if you're not making it homemade, is going to be perfect. Now, when you line the peppers in the casserole dish, once you've filled them, what you can do is put a little bit of this base that we've created, and that will hold the pepper from tipping over. I already have some in the oven, and in the last 10 to 15 minutes, you just top it with some Parmesan cheese, and you really have a great meal going on. So let's put that down so you can get a view of this. And this is something that can last up to 3 days in the refrigerator. It's great because you can pop it in the microwave to reheat. And then as it cooks down, I might want to add a little bit more. Secret to the peppers, you can always start with a little Parmesan cheese on the base in the side, and that's going to give your guest a little bit of extra flavor and that delicious cheese that I love so much. So I'm going to plate this up and get ready for our lunch, and we'll come back in just a few minutes for a taste, and I'll tell you about our gift card contest.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
Since 2014, Addiction Hope and Helpline has answered calls for recovery and treatment 24/7, 365 days a year. If you're depressed, drinking, using drugs, or taking pills, call now and talk to someone who cares.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Most insurance covers substance abuse. You can get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call 800-622-1941. 800-622-1941.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
So, beautiful shot here from Tower Cam, showing only a very few fair weather clouds. Small clouds, cellular in nature, no real loft to these clouds. The air is kind of stable aloft, and so consequently we don't have much growth in the cloud cover. Also, they're kind of few and far between. You'll notice kind of a lack of mid-level clouds. Got some low clouds, got some very high clouds, but not much in between. There's dry air in place aloft, and that is really going to limit any kind of rain shower chances that we might have for today. 92 already degrees. Whew, it's hot. Dew point value of 73. Incidentally, the pavement today is going to get very, very warm. So watch walking your doggies out there. You wouldn't want to go barefoot on that dark pavement, and I'm sure they wouldn't either. Also, cars are going to get very warm very quickly with all the sunshine around. UV index is very high today, so please be very, very careful with animals and, of course, children in cars. 90 degrees in Wauchula, 91 in Arcadia, 90 in Mayaca, 91 in Parrish, Bradenton, Lakewood Ranch, 90 in Northport, 91 in Venice, 90 in Inglewood, 88. Sounds like the middle of winter, doesn't it? Longboat Key, a little bit cooler there. Thankfully, the water temperature at 88 as well, helping to keep the coast just a little bit cooler. Showers down to the south. We're having a little data problem here. That's why you're seeing the flashing. Don't concentrate on the blank screen because that's not true. But we do have some showers in progress to the north of us and some showers down to the south, but just not much over top of our area. One lone shower here in Highlands County, and that's really about it. Don't expect to see a whole lot today in the way of those cooling showers around. High pressure remains our dominant weather feature right through the next several days, keeping our showers suppressed, keeping daytime highs very warm, encouraging that formation of the sea breeze each and every afternoon, pushing shower chances into inland areas. That's the way it's going to be. The 3 H's today: hot, hazy, humid, with small rain chances and high heat indexes. Do be careful if you're doing any strenuous outdoor activity today. Be sure and hydrate because the heat indexes will crack 100 and be very close to 105 in most locations. Satellite view showing only a few fair weather clouds over the state of Florida, and a quick look out in the rest of the tropics shows just a few areas of disturbed weather. Nothing that looks all that impressive currently, but this cluster of clouds out here does get a 20% chance of development over the course of the next 5 days from the hurricane center just off the coast of Africa. It's got a long way to travel. We'll watch it and see what happens, but don't expect a whole lot. However, the first couple of weeks in August may see an uptick in tropical activity. We'll be watching that very carefully. We have less than average rain chances for a couple of days in a row, very warm temperatures for a couple of days in a row, and then better chances of cooling rains as we head into the end of the weekend and the beginning of next work week. Back to you, Ray.
Thank you, John. Well, she began as a cart girl selling beer on a local golf course, but she's become a philanthropist. Our Linda Carson has this week's Amazing Suncoast Woman.
Jamie Klobber was born and raised in Manhattan. She fell in love with horses at a young age.
When I was a kid growing up in New York City, we had a ranch farm in New Jersey, and we went every weekend and every vacation and every time that we could. And that's where I learned to ride.
She came to Sarasota 24 years ago.
The first thing I did here was drive the beer cart at Laurel Oak. Oh. That was my first drive.
She went on to become a professional fundraiser. She met her husband, Tommy Klobber, at the Stone Crab Festival at the Colony.
I was just chill and really just enjoying my environment, and he just came up to me, and that was, we were immediate. It was only about 3 months till we were living together, but it was 2.5 years till we got married.
They've now been married 17 years. She joined Tommy at the Patty George restaurant and started a very successful catering company of her own. Then Tommy gave her the best gift of her life, polo lessons.
I took 10 lessons, and then I took 10 more, and then I took 10 more, and then the horse that I was riding a lot, he said, oh, well, that horse needs to be turned out because we played it all season. And he said, of course, unless you want to buy it.
Presently, she owns 7 horses and plays competitive polo.
I just love it. You know, my biggest passion is the horses themselves. So even if I wasn't playing polo, as long as I will never not be with horses again.
She still raises money for worthy causes.
Ponies for Pups, where we raise money for Honor Animal Rescue.
And they do a huge number of fundraisers at the Polo Grill. In all she does, she has one goal.
I strive to make people happy. I'm just very eager to please, and I want people to walk away from anything that I am touching anyway with a really good feeling.
And her life lesson?
You can make things happen. And it's basically, it's up to you. I think in my life, when I have come across challenges, You know, I mean, yes, take them seriously, but also take whatever actions are necessary to change them.
You'll often find this amazing Suncoast woman here at the Polo Grill with her husband, Tommy. They're getting ready to celebrate their 10th anniversary here in Lakewood Ranch. Come by and wish them well. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Well, plans are already in the works for a sequel to one of the biggest movies of the year. We'll tell you which one. And how about a date with one of the big screen's most romantic couples? There they are. Entertainment news is next.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Why settle for less? Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru is rated the safest and most dependable automotive brand, and all Subaru models with EyeSight are a 2017 IIHS top safety pick. Right now, you can lease the most award-winning small SUV, a new Subaru Forester, for just $209 a month, or get 0% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Attention blood thinner users. Thousands of blood thinner users may have been exposed to serious risk by these dangerous medications. If your loved one took Xarelto or Pradaxa and suffered serious internal bleeding, call right now. Call Nightline Legal to speak with an experienced attorney for a free consultation. If we don't win, there is no fee. There are time deadlines to file a claim, so don't wait. Call right now.
Call 1-800-554-3987. Again, that's 1-800-554-3987.
A decade of war has taken an unprecedented toll on our men and women in uniform.
Hundreds of thousands of our veterans are suffering from the trauma of war.
At Justice for Vets, we believe that every veteran should have the opportunity for treatment and restoration. Get involved and go to justiceforvets.org.
Help put treatment within reach of veterans in crisis.
Veterans fought for our freedom. Now it's our turn to fight for theirs.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Well, here you have it, stuffed red and yellow peppers with the quinoa, eggplant, mushrooms, the tops of the peppers, and of course that delicious Italian sausage. It is really a flavorful dish. We put some Parmesan cheese on top, and if you want to cheat a little bit, some Parmesan cheese on the bottom is always great. Just a little puddle, as I call it, of tomato sauce when you're going to serve. 1 is an appropriate serving, 2 for somebody that's really hungry. But as I said before, there's so many different things you can do. Just with the base of this is a meal in itself. Add a little tomato sauce and you are good to go. So now you have the deliciousness. Let me tell you where you can find the recipe on mysuncoast.com/dining. There you can find videos, recipes from our guest chefs and myself. restaurant reviews, and click on to sign up for our culinary newsletter, and you will be entered so you could possibly win a $50 gift card to one of our local restaurants. I hope you enjoy. Bon appetit, and I'll send it back to you.
All right, thank you, Judy. Wonder Woman is already planning a sequel. Wonder Woman 2 is set to storm theaters in 2 years. You've got time. Gal Gadot will return as the Marvel superhero. The first Wonder Woman is still big at the box office, becoming the top domestic earner of the summer and the second highest of the year, behind Beauty and the Beast. How would you like a night out with Rose and Jack? Seriously, Titanic stars Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio are on the auction block today at DiCaprio's annual charity gala in France. The winner will get a private dinner with both of them. That's not bad, but they have to be available when the stars are, which is sometime in October or November in New York City. Quite a movie they had together, Titanic.
You know, I really liked that movie.
It broke through, didn't it?
It really did. And plus, at the time anyway, the visual effects were just phenomenal, you know.
Not many movies are based off a tragedy do so well.
Yeah, it really did. It did incredibly well. Yeah, plus the music was just outstanding.
Yeah, catchy song by Celine Dion.
Yeah, it was all great. Another hot afternoon. Watch for that. Of course, Bob in at 5 will track any showers, lonesome showers that we get out there, but there won't be many.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow on Good Morning Suncoast. Enjoy your afternoon.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School, serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.